Next up, we have the completely open spleen. The spleen is about health, well-being, and spontaneity. For our undefined, that's 45.2% of the population. And there's like a fundamental survival fear. If you have something hanging off of it, you have, I should be afraid of this thing. And they can cling to defined spleens for security. An undefined spleen never quite feels healthy or well or good. There's always something like a little bit funny and a little bit off about us. So when we're near a healthy defined spleen, it is like I need to fill up on healthy, good splenic energy just to kind of find a balance. And undefined spleens also hold on to what is not good for them, and they can have unhealthy dependencies because it's like I might not have what I need to survive. I don't have that natural, constant flowing survival energy. So there's like an unease to hold on to that which will help us survive. And then looking at the completely open spleen, this is 9.8% of the population. And these people are unsure what to be afraid of. There's no preloaded data of which survival fear to focus on. And they can be insecure and fearful, or risky and fearless, kind of one extreme or the other. And they're open to the full range of instinctual and intuitive messages that can come in through the spleen. And they also have like no inbuilt sense of like time and timing because the spleen has that aspect to it as well. And we have some fun examples on that. And the gift of the completely open spleen is the full range of instinctual and intuitive intelligences.
Health and well-being and spontaneity are here. The defined spleen is by definition spontaneous. That's what it does. And that's important. If you see that only 10% of the planet actually has it completely open. I have an open spleen, but I have a gate 44 on it. So there's a theme there. Understand that the spleen center is the original place of fear inside the body graph. And because it's splenic safety, survival, health, and well-being fear, it's the most striking, sudden. So we call it the fear center. The other centers have fear, of course. They have the fears on each gate. We have them named, but it's the spleen that stands out. Why we call it sometimes just the fear center, because it's so sudden. And if it's now you're part of that 10% with it completely open, not even knowing what to fear. And when we talk about fear, this is intelligence fear. Don't jump off that; it's too high. That type of thing. Not even knowing they can rush headlong into something that is dangerous. So you have to watch out for these children. If they're completely open, you'll see they just don't recognize that there's a corner on the end of the table when they keep hitting it. They'll learn, but what I'm getting at is they just don't know they shouldn't run that fast right in this spot. They just can't tell. And so you got to watch out for that. And the spontaneity is this. As they grow up, it's the not self of the open spleen is hanging on to things that aren't good for you. Yes, that is definitely it. Just as hanging on to because it makes you think it's part of what you need to be safe, and you just sort of are willing to deal with it. That's already bad enough, but when it's completely open, you still have that theme, and you don't even know why you're hanging on to it. You still have that theme of hanging on to things that aren't good for you, and suddenly you're willing to now make erratic, spontaneous decisions to get rid of it, to make it stop. And that's who you're not. And as you start to see it and recognize that, oh my God, I'm undefined in my spleen, so I can't rely on necessarily just being spontaneous. I truly have to rely on my strategy and authority. I'm a generator. If it's not filling me up with energy in the form of a response in the moment, what do I know? Spleen's not telling me anymore because I'm open there. The only way to get to the gift is to keep seeing it, and especially to take the things, the concepts, the things that don't matter, the people, the relationships that aren't good for you, right? The ideas, the argument you're in, it's not good for you. The conversation you're in, not good for you. Take these things that don't matter and try to not hold on to it. And you'll see, oh my God, I've been conditioned. I can't get out of this relationship. I can't let go of this job. I don't want to let go of that thing. I can't stop holding on to this notion that this idea of that. And he'll realize they're not good for me because they keep me stuck in a place. This is a hard one to learn because it's so spontaneous that when you see it, it can hit you like a 2-ton heavy thing. This is no good for me. Oh my God, I've been here for 8 years hanging on to the thing that wasn't good for me. I
Yeah.
mean, Oops. Right. And
Uh-huh.
so, and I've done that. Of course, I've done that. Open spleen, one
Guilty as
after.
charged.
Yep. Guilty as wicked. So when you start seeing it, this full range of instinctual intuitive intelligence is incredible. It means we do pay attention to all the creaks and pops in our body, everything we hear. It means we're more aware of our body than the defined spleen. Defined spleen just takes it for granted, just like a defined throat takes it for granted that it'll speak or not. The instinctual, intuitive, and at times logically well giving, identified, logical understanding information, this stream of taste on the outside. That's all splenic awareness of that which is going to light us up and keep us safe. So now you're open to all of it. You make a good doctor because if you don't have a theme, if you don't have a defined channel to it, now you're open to all the various ways in which you can listen to that other person's spleen and their sense of their health as a physician, for instance. To get to that gift, you got to be in your strategy and authority. This gift is hard fought because it's so elusive, right? We don't have touch with the spleen. This is one of the more elusive ones. We don't have touch with it until we're in with it. And why don't we have touch? Because it's spontaneously in the now, safe, not safe. It doesn't tell you why. All you can see is it tells you that it's not safe, or it's good or not good, or healthy or not healthy. And that's what it's doing all day long. Little noses and touchy fingers and lips and your tongue tasting, smelling, touching, gathering all the information from around your environment, safe, not safe, good, not good. If you're open, you can never tell for sure. You're experiencing it. You're allowing yourself to hear and listen through, and then coming to terms of being safe or not safe in any given moment. It's a little bit of a process. You have to allow that process. It's not just sitting there innately. And by the way, when you have a defined spleen and your safety, not safe thing is sitting there innately, you stop paying attention to it. And sooner or later, when you get sick, you get wicked sick. It's like because you just weren't paying attention to it. I can get over that. You'll technically be the first one to just drop dead from the thing you didn't pay attention to that you really should have because you had a defined spleen. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to see the doctor. I'm not this. The open spleen is like, no, let's go to the doc. Let's get in the books. What does Siri say about this? It's chat GPT. What do we got? You check it. The open spleen checks it. The defined spleen only checks it. I mean, maybe because they're in that profession somehow for whatever reason, not for themselves, unless it's big. So they miss
Yeah.
so many things that if you want to see the gift, you don't miss the things that pop in the now as it relates to your intuitive instinct and your judgment about what is good or not good for yourself or the other, just sort of right now. And now, if your mind grabs a hold of that, now you can recognize, oh, this matters a little bit right now. Let's see what that is. Now you're in your experiment.
The undefined spleen is definitely like hypersensitive to the things that can cause illness. Like I know a very specific throat tickle that I feel and I'm like, like it's coming. I know it's coming. But then I could tell. So I'm like, okay, eat some garlic, have some oregano oil, like do all these, old world holistic
Right.
kind of recipes. But because I could tell right away. And you can also then tell the health of other people. If someone's good and healthy, I want to cuddle right on up to them and like refill on their good, healthy, splenic energy. Whereas I've been around other people where I'm like, oh, this person's real sick. I got to get away. Or, oh my God, that person looks bad. I think they're going to pass away soon. They're like, oh my God, don't think that. That's a horrible thing. But then remembering, like, oh, this is a spleen thing. And then they did, like a week or so later, is an older gentleman who passed. But it can be kind of a weird thing to have an intuitive sense on someone else's health if you don't know what that is and to be able to recognize it as something foreign than yourself.
Indeed. Get this gift because it is so capable of seeing exactly what Moni just said, basically in the now, because it's your chemistry in your body and it's delivering it to you. It's just a little bit delayed, like a second or two. You get there quickly because you're looking and you're vigilant about it if you're open, and you're supposed to be.
So for our celebrities with completely open spleens, this is a fun list. Keanu Reeves is the first on our list, and he's an interesting one because he'll like go and hang out and talk with like homeless people and street people, and he's not afraid of them. And he'll go ride the New York City subway, even though he's like this big star. He doesn't have this sense of fear of the unknown in that way. Like he'll just go and hang out. Mr. Rogers, who is a vessel of love, we actually have the same birthday, and I love Mr. Rogers. He also like he wasn't afraid of people with different illnesses or people who maybe someone else would have like a prejudice towards. He would have them on the show. And he also, what's interesting with Mr. Rogers is he would take whatever time that was there that was needed to really interact and connect with these little kids that came on the show, and the producers and the show people were like, come on, we got to record the next thing. And he would not have that sense of timing. He would take all the time in the world and sit with these kids and like help them process their fears and their anxieties, and help talk them through it. So Mr. Rogers is a cool example. Morgan Freeman, and he's kind of interesting with like vocal pacing and the way he says things. George Carlin, he's brilliant, and he would talk about a lot of things like afraid of this, afraid of that, again with like timing and cleverness. Because the spleen also has that like comedic aspect to it. Because laughing also has a thing with survival. You laugh because we survived something together, as well as timing and then like cadence in that way. Adam Sandler, another guy who's like super rich, but like walks around in basketball shorts and just hangs out and he's cool and chill with people in that kind of Keanu Reeves way. Tim Curry, another fun strange example. You also have Jennifer Lawrence, and I almost wonder with like in her earlier award show days where she'd like trip and fall and do all this goofy kind of stuff. I wonder if that kind of relates to the open spleen. And you also have Bob Dylan, which is interesting because he kept getting back together with Joan Baez, and she had a very defined spleen. And so he's almost like clinging back to her.
Yeah, yeah, hanging back on to that thing. Well, you said something interesting about comedy and laughter. The spleen is the most existential of centers, right? And the spleen and the sacral are the two truly existential centers, meaning only right now. Did right now go by? Okay, you missed it. Only right now. Laughter can only happen right now. You can't
Mm.
laugh a minute from now unless you're still laughing from the minute before when it was right now.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
You
just
can't
in the
laugh a
moment.
minute from now at
Your
what I
body
just
just
said.
does it in the moment.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it just does it. So laughter, just be aware in your experiment. Laughter is an indication of recognition of truth. It's an indication of laughter proves understanding, by the way.
Laughter is the sound of comprehension.
Comprehension. Yeah, absolutely. It
It's the
proves
sound of
understanding.
comprehension.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone laughs at the joke. We understand everyone got it. And the person who didn't laugh at it, we understand they didn't get it. And we tell them, or
Mhm.
laugh at them some more. And then tell them, right? And because everyone's in on it type thing.
Mhm.
Let laughter show you that which is true, because this spleen is doesn't know what to fear, just doesn't has no concept of what to fear. It's not, has no grounding of should I fear. It's just not knowing, not even understanding or sensing or feeling that there is fear. I wrote down a couple of things. Can't quite grasp that they're supposed to be afraid, where everyone else with at least a theme or defined spleens like, dude, I mean, aren't you a little afraid of that? If enough people say something, maybe he'll get the idea. It's not like he's completely obtuse, but all on his own, all on their own, not knowing what to fear, not connected to the fear, not grounded in how, or able to, even not knowing how to act it out or even be it, not knowing what to fear. Don't know, just have no idea.
Yeah,
um,
no data.
no data on the thing. And then once you start to recognize that, you become a pro. Maybe I should fear this a little bit. Because remember, fear rips through in a New York second, spleen, right? Moment to moment. And it guarantees if you listen to it, it's your survival. Now you're open to all the things that lead to your survival. You're open to the fact that everyone else can now know through your expression what that might mean. And you got nothing to prove here. There's nothing that you have to, I don't have to hold on to that. You better hold on to me. I think I want to hold on to you, but that's my not self. I don't need to hold on to you. Now you're off the hook. You don't have to hold on to it anymore, because that's what this thing does. It gives itself a sense of safety by creating a thing. Let me hold on to my husband who's abusing me as an archetype of an example. I can't leave him. No, he's to the, I mean, that's hard. I get it. Don't want to leave,
Yeah.
but there's many more mundane things, not quite that big. Stop.
It's a
You're
good
not.
example though. Like it's
Yeah,
a I've been in
it's
those
archetype of an example. Yeah.
yeah, no, I've been in those relationships where it's like you're just stuck with this person and you know it's bad and you're trying to get away and you're screaming and yelling and trying to break up and it's like you're so ready on never seeing this person again because it's horrible and super bad. And then if you get sucked into the aura again and then you're like in it. So it's like if you need to break up with someone, do not get back into their aura. Like just don't do it. Have someone else pick up your stuff. Whatever you got to do, don't get back into that aura because you will get sucked back into it. It is a hard way out when you have the undefined spleen and you're with someone who has a defined spleen and you just feel stuck.
And if you're a little bit of a thrill seeker and you've been in your experiment for a little while, go get right back into the aura and watch yourself walk right back out of it again, as difficult as it was, and you will know. I don't suggest you do that though, but I
Not
would.
with a bad relationship, maybe with a friend that you like to kind of cling to. Like be make good choices with who you're playing your human design experiments with. And in general, if you have the undefined spleen, whether open or hanging gates, don't be spontaneous because we're not good at that.
Right, right, exactly. And there's plenty of things in there that will take you into the things where spontaneity is called for, by the way. A,
Mm.
you're open to it. And B, there's plenty of things. You got a response and spontaneously you guys are doing something. That's great. You'll see. But you didn't have to hold on to it, is the thing. The other last thing I can think about the spleen, and it was probably inherent in all of these people on the right, was just this: if you're open, you're always doing little. At this point, I don't come on air until I've ran and got my mint leaf and I got to put it on my tongue because I noticed my little pH in my mouth or my thing. I had a mint leaf before we went on. I love it. I start growing mints and I have things and you'll notice you grow a plant because you need the thing. It's you've got all these little medicinal things for yourself is the point I'm trying to make. And little oils you put in a thing and you're making dinner. Oh, I better put in this a little less salt this time. You're paying attention. The defined spleen is like, oh, it's too much salt, but I'm hungry. You know, and the undefined spleen is, oh no, get it out of there. You know what I mean? Do something about it. So let me burn my incense. Let me get my thing. I got to get this right. Let me do the thing. Undefined spleen has all these wisdoms. It becomes that intelligence and it's instinctual, intuitive. You didn't have to work at it too hard. It sort of just keeps showing up
You
on
just
when
develop
to,
a library of all your little things that are going to make it nicer.
yeah. And so you're supposed to do that. So please do. Right? You're
Cool.
supposed to do that. You're not a freak. You're not worried about every last little thing. Spleen is just open and you'll find out when it's too much. Oh God, I'm going too far with this. It's like I don't have to have it at 3 every single day, these 2 drops of oregano oil in a glass of tea. It's just you'll see. But
Well,
experiment with it.